Hi everyone, it's Angela Palmer from Stamp with Angela. Thanks for joining me today, whether you're joining me live or whether you're watching the recording. I appreciate you coming and watching this video. I'm looking forward to sharing some new things with you today. So predominantly it's going to be some not stamps this time, it's some decorative masks and ink, blending brushes, and the new in colour cards and envelopes that you can get. So last week I shared a card with you involving the decorative mask, and that was more the background patterns. Today I'm going to use these ones here, not sure if you can see it, which is more the butterflies and flowers to create patterns. And the in colour envelopes that you can get are these here. So these are in the 5 in colours with a pattern on them, which are quite cool. So they're all ready to go. So the background of the card is already coloured for you. And then there is, whoops, the other way around, coordinating envelopes to go with them too. And I have done a little bit of die cutting, but it's basically the cards and the stamps and the masks and things. So fairly simple, but quite effective results. So I'm going to turn my camera around, it'll go blank for a moment, and then you'll see my desk and things. So just bear with me for a minute when I turn it around. So these are the cards that I'm going to create with you today. So this one here is using that butterflies mask, and I have used a die cut there. But if you don't have that, just, you know, a rectangled piece would be great. And this one here, also with colouring and things. Again, I have cut it out, but you could use just a rectangle shape. So the dies I've used are these ones here. I use them quite a lot. They are called the Scallop Contours dies. They do coordinate with a stamp set, but you can use these ones here in quite a few different ways. You'll see too that I actually photocopy the pattern on so I can see what's missing, and you'll also see that it's magnetic. So I just get a magnetic sheet, put it on, and then I know everything is all there. So that's what I've used to cut out those two shapes. And these are the masks that I'm using. So they are in the mini catalogue. The January to June one, so that is finishing soon. So these will be retiring. So if you like these, make sure you get them before they're gone. They're on page 65, and you can see the great versatility of them. And the stamp set I've actually used happens to be this one as well, which is really good because it's got all sorts of sentiments and things. Happy birthday, happy Father's Day, happy Easter, happy Mother's Day. And the one I like to use is Just For You, because then I can use it for a few different things. And that's called Celebrating You. That is going to carry on into the, or it has carried on into the annual catalogue. And the card bases that I've used, as I quickly showed you before, are these in colour card bases with the matching envelopes, which is really cool. So they are in the annual catalogue, this one here, on page 13. So you'll see the teacup suite, and just tucked up here are these envelopes and things. And so you can see them on page 13, and then they're also in more detail here on page 137. So they're called the Tea Boutique cards because that particular set uses those colours, but of course you can use it for anything you like. So I just like the way it added that colour in the background. All right, so I'll move these other bits out the way and we will start creating. So the masks, as you saw before, you've got these ones here, which are your flowers and butterflies, and then you've also got some background pattern ones, which is what I used last week. So I'll show those cards at the end. Hopefully I'll remember. But we're going to use these ones today. So I'm going to start with the butterfly. So I'm actually going to use my Stamparatus, not for stamping, but for holding it in position. Now I probably should have got a cleaner sheet before I started, but you can see it's well used. So I wanted to put my butterfly on the side like that. So I'm going to put that there and kind of arrange it like so and put it into place. Now the most important thing when you're doing this is to mask off the rest of it that you don't want. So post-it notes are very useful. And I tried to do it without, tried to be careful, but you end up getting ink where you don't want it. I'll show you what I mean. So put those down, and then I'll put that on with a post-it. So you'll see here I made this beautiful flower, but then see that red line going through? Because I didn't mask it, I got ink on the side. So we learn from our mistakes. All right, so even these white edges over here, you'll be colouring away and you'll go over the side and get ink where you don't want it. So use lots of post-it notes to cover up. So basically all you can see is the butterfly that you want. So I'm starting off with the whole butterfly, and I'm going to do the Orchid Oasis this time just to try something different. And I'm going to go fairly lightly. Now you can use two different colors, a lighter and a darker, or you can use the same ink pad and do a lighter covering the first time and then a little bit darker the second. So I'm going to just use the one ink pad. So I'm just going to very lightly kind of go over it like so. Got a few sort of swishy marks there. Going to start here. So just, oh, sorry about the noise. My, what do you call it? Bracelet is rattling there. I want to make sure my, these bits are quite dark because they're not on the other mask. There we go. So very light background. I'm not quite sure how well you can see that, but just very lightly. Then I'm going to pull off all these. It's a little bit time consuming doing these bits, but if you want successful results, then it's worth it, because you don't want to make a card and then get ink where you don't want it. All right, there you go. So that's what it looks like just with the first layer. Then I'm going to line this up. Now, because that's quite high up, I'm going to have to move that up, move it down my Stamparatus and line it up so it fits. So if I hold that a bit closer, you want to line it up so you can see the shape below, and you want to make sure it nicely fits in. Just going to move it down a fraction, line it up, and then I guess it's what we're going to have to do is put our post-it notes down again. I think there's actually two there. Might as well make use of all of them. Make sure you do these sides, because you definitely don't want to go on to the other areas of the card and spoil it. So cover up everywhere. Like so. Okay, a couple of magnets to sort of hold it. The reason I'm using my Stamparatus is to kind of help hold it in place without having to tape it down. Okay, so now I'm going to go a little bit harder and firmer. So with these ones here, they can kind of flick up and lift. So I'm going to sort of want to go down rather than across, so it doesn't sort of lift them up. All right, so here we go. More color this time. Can you see that's darker if you compare the two sides? So it's about how much ink you've put on and also the pressure. I'm pushing harder down this, oops, use my own advice. Let's go that way a bit more so it doesn't move. And same here. And make sure you go right to the edge so you get those dots as well. You can, I guess, if you want to have a little bit of a sneak peek, make sure you're happy with it, which I'm sure I will be. I'm just going to take it off and let's see how it looks. Now, if you're going to use another colour, do give it just a wipe down with a chamois or wipe or something like that before you mix it. Isn't that beautiful? Very, very pretty. So I'm going to stamp a sentiment in the corner. So my plan was to stamp straight on the card, like I managed to do for this one. But when I did it on that card, it was a bit wonky. So we had to come up with the plan of stamping it on something else and sticking it on. So that's our backup plan, but we're going to see if I can get it straight. Oh yes, I think that looks good. Beautiful. So you could add something else to it if you wanted. I have added on this one a ribbon, a bow, and then some of the in colour matted dots. So let's see what we'll do for this. I don't know if I do have the ones in the same colour left. Very good. And maybe we can add a bow. Now there's nothing raised up to add it to, but we can add it somewhere. You may want to add some gems and things to the actual butterfly body. It's up to you. There's all sorts of possibilities with these, but they're not too difficult to make, but they look really impressive, particularly with the two tones. I think that looks really good. Right, so now this is going to be a little bit different because I've got nothing raised, so I might decide later I actually do want to raise it up. Then I can put my you know, sentiment sort of attached to it, or I could just leave it like that. And I'm going to find my take your pick tool and put those on, except it's, yes, here it is. So these are kind of an ombre colour. You'll see some are darker, some are lighter, so we've got some of the lighter ones left. So let's just put a couple of these on. I haven't decided where to put my bow. Any suggestions? Or do you think I should raise up my sentiment? Looking for comments, anybody? Or I could just leave it off. Let's try it without it being there and see what we think as well. All right, so I'm looking for my card base. So this colour here. Oh, no, there's one of those that hasn't pushed through. There we go. So I did put that on with dimensionals. Might want it up there or something like that. But fairly simple, but it looks really effective. And then after this, we're going to make one with some of the flowers. So I think these are really cool. I just think they're quite simple to do, but they look so effective. Looking for comments on where I should put my bow, or should I just not have it at all? Okay, here we go. So now line it up so it is square. That's the challenge. There we go. Like so. So for now, I'll leave it off and maybe edit later. I'll share some photos later perhaps. But there you go. So that's the butterfly. So just 2 steps. So it was the big outline first, light, or choose a light color, and then go over with the darker color or more ink of the same color with that one there. All right, so for my second card, we are going to make this one. And I've got this piece already die cut, ready to go. And let's do the, I was going to do it in the blue, that's right, the Tahitian Tide I thought we would try this time. So I'll get my stamper artist. Oh, my bow is still there. So with this one here, this is what they look like. So that's our first one, and then the more detail is there. So I did it slightly to the left so that I had room for my sentiment. So I want to kind of do that. And I also did it so that my edge was covering that, so I didn't have to mask up the top. So kind of, and I could even do it slightly on an angle. Let's maybe try that for something different. So I will have to cover that top bit, but that's okay. Good to try new things. So let's put that up there and hold it down. Remember, cover up all the areas that you can see, because we don't want to spoil our creation. Okay, so we're going to do something different, and we're going to use the Tahitian Tide. It's quite a nice bright color, and I have to find my blending brush for that color. And I did have it handy, and here it is. Okay, so I'm going to go with a light color first. Here we go. So I'm not pushing very hard, I'm just very lightly going over, so much so you can hardly see anything. But if you look closely, there is some color there. I'm going to go right to the edges, but fairly lightly. So has anybody else got these masks and given it a try? What's your favorite if you do have them? Do you like the flowers? Do you like the butterflies? Or do you like the flowers, butterflies, or the backgrounds? Okay, so that's my light color, same color ink. Then we're going to lift up all these things again. And there we go. Isn't that beautiful? Now I'm going to have to move it down. Actually, maybe if I turned it around, that could be good, couldn't it? Then I can layer this one over the top. So just got to line it up with what's there. So like that flower's in the center, and kind of, whoops, there shouldn't be sort of anything showing. There we go, hopefully that's correct. Okay, so back with our post-it notes again. It is worth it. Make sure you do put these down. All right. And this time we go for more pressure. All right. Here we go. Darker colour. It was really noticeable with the purple with the Orchid Oasis, the darker colour. This one's taking a little bit more of an effort, but we're getting there. I'm sure there would be a difference. There we go. Okay, looks great. Okay, let's have a look and see. Oh, wow, lovely. Isn't that cool? All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to do the sentiment next so that I don't, what's the word, you know, put a leaf where I don't want it. Let's see if we can get this one straight. Pressure, no pressure when you're on video. Not quite as good, but it's okay. All right, there we go, just for you. So now I'm going to put this one away, and I'm going to get my parakeet party, and I'm going to do the leaves. So you'll see on this that there's a couple of different style of leaves. Whoops, and a dimensional, there you go. I probably like the look of these most, but it's good to have a bit of contrast, and you can do some lighter and darker, or even two different greens if you want to. So on here is the leaves and things. So you just got to sort of move it around to decide which ones. I might, because there's quite a bit of space up there. Let's do these big ones first. So just follow the curve of that, which works with your flower. And I'm sure you know the drill now. Mask it. Whoops, that moved. And particularly up there, because we don't want it on the corner of our card. Hold it down. Now let's get the right colour ink and a blending brush and go with that. Oops, that's coming down a bit. The colour here. There we go. So you do have to lift them up and move it a couple of times. I can just leave those there and just move it with it. Where else should we put it? Maybe up this top corner here too. Or over here somewhere. So let's just go with that. So we'll do the same kind of leaf first, and then we can mask up another leaf somewhere else. So do you have a favourite in colour? Initially I thought Starry Sky was mine, but now it's hard to know. Different things, different combinations. There we go. They all look good. All right, so maybe I won't do quite so many leaves on this one compared to my other one, but let's try this one down here. Now I want to make sure I cover up that too, because otherwise it's going to go on my card, which I don't want. So let's go here. And whoops, that didn't quite line up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move it and fix that white space. And hopefully it doesn't look like I missed it. There we go, not too bad. Where else? Maybe I will do a couple of those down here too. And another of the other ones, which I probably prefer the shape of up the top. So this is quite good. I'm not having to remove all my thing. I'm just going to put another one up here, but I'm just going to use one of these single ones. So maybe like that. But we do need to adjust. So thank you for your patience as you watch me do this, but you'll see, you know, how easy it is to do as long as you follow the correct steps and things. Okay. Obviously you can do more, but that gives you a general idea of what it's going to look like. Let's have a look at that. Oh, beautiful. So, whoops. Now we need our, I could possibly put another one there. Or maybe I quickly will, because once it's stuck down I can't do any more. So let's just find maybe one of those. They're my favorite. Sorry. Oops, it just moved slightly. Let's move it over a bit. Okay. Just take a moment longer, but it will look good in the end. I don't want to have too much white space, but then I don't want it to be too busy either. All right, what do you think? Let's have a look. That looks lovely. There we go. Get rid of that busy piece of paper there. All right. And then all I need is my card base. So because I've gone with Tahitian Tide, I'm going to go with a Tahitian Tide base. You could also do the green. Let's just try it. See what that looks like. So that's what it would look like with the green, which is a possibility, like so, or with the blue. But for today, I'm going to go with the blue. But in a really effective card. I think these decorative layering masks are very cool. So if you are interested in getting them, just a reminder that they are retiring by the end of this month or while stocks last. So make sure you get yours soon. If you don't have a demonstrator and you'd like to order through me, you can order through my online store or contact me and I can help you with your order. There we are. So there's the two cards with the flower. So this one we just made in the video today. And here is the butterfly one we did. And you could add, you know, some embellishments and things if you want, or just keep it simple like that. I did mention about what I did last week. So the background stamps. So here's the Tahitian Tide, so that's one of the background stamps, another one, and the other design, and then another one with the flowers in the Orchid Oasis. And this is a combination of both, taught by my team leader as part of one of our online events. So that was really cool. So it's got both the flowers and the butterfly and even some embossing in here. So that's very cool. All right, so I hope you have enjoyed today's Facebook Live. I have enjoyed coming and sharing with you and creating with you. If you make some of these, I'd love to see what you create as well. Feel free to share photos and things with me. If you've got any questions, please ask. Love to help you. I hope to see you again, whether it's live next Thursday or watching the recording. So thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks. Bye.